To serve tea, a lot of people, how can you support this? I have a 5-gallon propane tank, and if I'm serving tea 40 hours a week, which is a lot, I usually don't do that, but I have. If I serve tea for 40 hours a week, my propane lasts for 2 months. Normally it lasts for 3. And that's about $13 to $15 to fill it up. So really it's, you know, pennies. Pennies a day to run the propane stove. I use a hyper efficient kettle. It's got a heat sink on the bottom, twice as much surface area, which means it absorbs heat twice as fast, which means it heats water twice as fast, which means it uses half as much fuel. So really, it costs pennies to serve free tea. And that was one of the reasons why initially I liked it. I could, for the same price I could buy a girl a drink at the bar, I could buy 100 bags of Lipton tea and have 100 genuine human interactions. It's expensive and, like, it's taxing sometimes to me to serve tea for, like, 14 hours a day for 3 days straight, like I do sometimes. But it's really cheap in the monetary sense to make tea for people. Yeah, like maybe honey. Honey is probably the most expensive things. If anyone wants to donate some honey, I'm always looking for honey. Everyone always asks me the same questions over and over, and I decided that I really wanted to put together some literature, or some photos and diagrams and things to help people. Maybe having something to hand to someone. How did this come about? What's about money? How does this work? What is it? So I started putting together a couple things. One is a scrapbook, which is really a history, an unfolding of kind of how the T-bus stories happen with some words and photos, and that's like one side, which is like the kind of the social side of the T-bus. The other side of what people always ask me is the technical side, and I've ended up kind of mentoring people through conversions of buses and tiny homes and building, you know, small scale systems because I have electrical and water. And what I started to do was, and also for my own reference, I've always needed, what are the specs on that? How did I wire that again? How is that plumbed? Like, really creating a reference manual for myself, and then deciding, okay, I should expand that to other people and create things that people can draw from. Not necessarily reproduce, I mean they can if they want, but this is my coolant diagram. So this is wherever my coolant goes. So I use coolant to heat clean vegetable oil, which is here, and also the heater core. And then I also have a second loop over here with all these three-way valves that are right next to my driver's seat, where I can choose where coolant is going over here. And that's, you know, it can either be going into my dirty vegetable oil, filtering it, it can be going to my hot water heater to heat hot water, and then ultimately a little heater core to heat my bus, which isn't in yet. This is my dirty vegetable oil. This is all the setup. This is my dirty vegetable oil tank, some filters, my centrifuge, temperature gauge, pressure gauge, high pressure pump, all these things that make the dirty vegetable oil system. So essentially the T-Bus Factory Service Manual will be a compilation of diagrams with explanations of everything, how it all fits together, what parts are, what the specs are, different options or different ways of doing things, and really giving people the opportunity to take from what I've done and apply it to projects that they might want to undertake. And of course there'll be the freshwater diagram. This one, let's see, that's the solar electric. So that's the batteries, the solar panel, the charge controller, the breakers, you know, various components, the inverter. I will always make it free, downloadable, Creative Commons, but maybe I want to make more of like a coffee table book that is both the social and the technical aspects of the T-Bus, and making it a large color book where it's stories interspersed with diagrams and the processes of building things, and so the interactions that happen on the T-Bus, and just a much more cohesive, like big, fat, thick coffee table book that, again, free downloadable on the internet, or, you know, you can buy a printed version if you want. So this is the T-Bus. This is my home. It's also a free tea house. 99% of the wood is salvaged, 75% of the hardware, including screws. It's built to be as self-contained and as low money input as possible, so that I can focus on being of service to people instead of being of service to money. So examples of that obviously are, you know, no rent, living off grid. Up here, I've got a solar panel on the roof. It's a 205 watt solar panel that powers all my electrical needs. It powers my refrigerator. you know, my lights, my water pump, my computer, whatever I need. This is the bed. This is a really fun one. This is the bed. This lowers down from the ceiling. So this is just, it's out of the way when I'm serving tea, when I'm driving, and it kind of transforms the space kind of into, it feels like I've got like private space when I lower the bed, because otherwise my bus is open to the general public. So this is, yeah, this lowers down. It's on a pulley system. Great, awesome bed. And below it, it's all storage. You know, all of these open up into compartments, tools, and etc. These are all, you know, storage bins. That's like my warm and cold weather gear, you know, mason jars, all the good stuff. This is my desk. This is, you know, adjustable to whatever height, depending on what angle I'm parked at. It's all, you know, bins and etc. So just really fun, recycled, salvaged hardware, multi-function. It's kind of like a desk I'll pull out. I've got like a rolling table that I'll pull out and sit here with a cushion and sit cross-legged, and maybe I'll pull out my typewriter or my computer and write and type. All just fun stuff. Like this is all old copper and brass plumbing ware that's like a railing. I like laminated, I made this piece of wood. I laminated like 8 pieces of wood together to get this curve. So just really playing around and being fun with building things. This over here is like this is old handicap door. So this opens. So this is like what people see when they come up to the T-bus first. So this opens. It's really the entryway. It's obviously free tea sign, my little garden, and this is what's called the gift and take down here. This is all. It says gift and take. Anyone can put in, anyone can take out. So the idea here is that you know, people are always trying to force money upon me, which is like so funny because people can't receive without giving a lot of the time. But what I did is I created at first just a jar, but this is a money box. So this is just coins and bills that people. This is the last week really. People put stuff in here. I was and anyone can put in, anyone can take out. It's really, people get really freaked out because they can come to the T-bus and they can take it free tea and free money. That's like mind tripping to people. But then there's also like small trinkets. Like I love this one, this little barrette that this girl here in town, Evan, she made and she put in the gift and take. It's just really cool. It's buffalo head nickel. And then the share cards. These are really fun. People can write a gift that they want to give to someone. This one's a cookie, a free cookie. So if you contact John and his email's on the back, he'll send you a cookie. You know, this guy will give you 15 minutes legal consultation. This person will give you energetic healing or writing services, web content, bios, articles, you name it. Jeff will give you that if you contact him. So this is like a way for people to share with complete strangers in the future. It's really fun. You know, just trinkets, books, whatever people put, tinctures, money. You know, a little fun little coin thing. Yeah, that's the gift and take. This is my kitchen. It's everything I need. It's running water. My hot water is heated by waste heat from my engine. So that just takes, you know, that's one of the biggest inefficiencies of a combustion engine is that waste heat. Coolant draws it away from the engine and then disperses it into the air. So I capture that with a heat exchanger inside of a hot water tank. This also is my shower, and I shower out here. There's a bracket right out this window that this goes into, and I can reach this from out there, so I can have hot showers wherever I go. I can take a 10-minute hot shower if I want. Usually I don't. Filtered water, you know, sink, everything, all the basic necessities. My stove, which I put away when I'm driving, really, and just a simple cook stove. You know, all my cabinets, and you know, my toiletries and medicine cabinet, my, you know, condiments and spices and stuff like that. Everything is, you know, all herbs and teas, tinctures, fan hood, LED, computer fan, super efficient. So over here, this is the wood burning stove. This is I use this all the time, especially in the winter. You know, I used it last night. Super tiny, super efficient. I did a work trade with a fellow who makes these up in Washington. Really nice stoves and plenty of heat for this space. You know, and I like efficiency, so I use things like this. This is, you know, this kettle fits right down in the fire, so that, you know, efficient heating. This is my favorite sign that I have right here. People get a trip. People say it doesn't make any sense. This is fun down here. This is a roll-around table, bench, chair. I use like this food grade cutting board on this cherry so I can cut on it. Inside is my wood storage. So this is like where I keep wood, kindling, axes, wood for my wood stove. It's made of old white picket fence. You can see the white on the inside, and then on the outside you can see this is all the different gradients of redwood. So here's the purple to reds to oranges, all the way up to like light yellows and tans. So that's like this is all from the same picket fence. You know, that's all the colors that. And it's just so silly to me that that's the American dream, to take all these beautiful variances and whitewash it all. So I just uncovered it, made a roll around thing for it, and it just pops in, drops down. This is a solar powered refrigerator, high efficiency 12-volt fridge. So it's just powered right from my batteries that are powered for the sun. About a fifth to a quarter of my electricity generating goes into this fridge, but totally worth it. And then I just kind of sheeted it, made it look like a nice little bench, and it is. Closet. The man's got to look nice. Got to have some button-ups and vests. That's kind of my favorite. You know, and just storage. This is my vegetable oil powered lantern, although I just use extra waste vegetable oil for lanterns. And this is my bookshelf. It's most of it's reference books. I like reference books, and just really fun. Got all my factory service manuals in here. My big tea kettle, all my electrical and solar stuff. That's my, these are my breakers. It's all wired, and that tells me I've got 13.4 volts. I'm getting sunlight on my panel right now, so I'm only gaining 0.9 amps though, because the sun's pretty low in the sky. And that's my charge controller. That was all the existing electrical stuff is up in there, so I just kind of added this into there.